In a remote town known for its snake farms and eerie quiet, the community was shaken by a tragic and gruesome murder that seemed ripped from the pages of a horror novel. The victim, a well-known local herpetologist named Dr. Samuel Carter, was found dead in his own laboratory, surrounded by the very creatures he studied. Dr. Carter was a dedicated scientist, beloved by many for his work on venom research and conservation. His death sent shockwaves through the small town, igniting fear, suspicion, and intrigue among residents and authorities alike. The day of the murder began like any other at the snake farm. The sun rose over the vast expanse of wooden enclosures housing various species of serpents, from harmless garter snakes to deadly cobras. The farm was a hub of education where visitors came to learn about the importance of snakes in the ecosystem and the vital research being conducted on their venom. Dr. Carter had devoted his life to studying these creatures, and his knowledge was unmatched. However, his passion for snakes also attracted a wide range of individuals, some fascinated, others fearful, and a few with darker intentions. On that fateful morning, a farm worker named Alex arrived early to prepare for the day's tours. As he entered the lab, he was greeted by an unsettling silence. Concerned, he searched for Dr. Carter, only to find him sprawled on the floor, surrounded by glass vials and snake cages. Panic set in as he called for help, but it was too late. Authorities quickly descended on the scene, and the investigation began. Initial findings revealed a shocking twist. Dr. Carter had been bitten by one of his own snakes, a rare species known for its lethal venom. The question hung heavily in the air. Was this an unfortunate accident, or a carefully orchestrated murder? The police began their investigation, interviewing farm staff, local residents, and anyone who had crossed paths with Dr. Carter. Each person brought a new layer of complexity to the case, revealing a tapestry of motives and potential suspects. Among the individuals scrutinized was Lucy, Dr. Carter's assistant, who had worked closely with him for years. The two shared a professional bond, but rumors swirled about the nature of their relationship. Some claimed there was more than just friendship, while others insisted their connection was purely academic. Lucy became an immediate focus of the investigation, especially after it was discovered that she had been seen arguing with Dr. Carter the week before his death. Then there was Greg, a rival herpetologist who had long envied Dr. Carter's success and recognition in the field. Their professional rivalry had grown increasingly bitter, leading to public confrontations at conferences. As the investigation deepened, detectives uncovered a series of threatening emails sent from Greg to Dr. Carter, filled with accusations of unethical practices in research. Was it possible that Greg had taken things too far, driven by jealousy and ambition? Another angle emerged when police interviewed the snake farm's owner, Mrs. Henderson. She had been struggling financially, and Dr. Carter's research was her last hope to secure funding. Investigators unearthed documents suggesting that Mrs. Henderson stood to gain significantly from Dr. Carter's work, if he were to be removed from the equation. However, she maintained her innocence, insisting that her relationship with Dr. Carter was purely professional. As the investigation unfolded, rumors began to circulate throughout the community. Some locals speculated about a conspiracy involving animal rights activists who had long protested against snake farming practices. They believed that perhaps an extremist faction had targeted Dr. Carter due to his controversial research. Others wondered whether the snakes themselves could hold the key to the mystery, with whispers of ancient curses surrounding the rare species kept on the farm. With the town gripped by fear and speculation, it was clear that Dr. Carter's murder had ignited a collective unease. The fear of snakes, compounded by the uncertainty of the investigation, created a perfect storm of paranoia. Every rustle in the grass and every slithering sound took on a sinister meaning as residents questioned their neighbors and friends. Days turned into weeks, and with each passing day, the investigation faced mounting pressure. police found it challenging to piece together a definitive timeline or establish a clear motive. Each suspect seemed to possess both the opportunity and the means to commit the crime, yet no one had a solid alibi. As the search for answers continued, detectives worked tirelessly, sifting through evidence and following leads. The turning point came when forensic experts analyzed the venom found at the scene. It was determined that the bite marks on Dr. Carter's body matched those of a specific species known to be particularly aggressive and territorial. This revelation narrowed the focus of the investigation, leading detectives to reassess the farm staff's knowledge and handling of the snakes. Ultimately, the investigation revealed a shocking truth. The bite that killed Dr. Carter was not just a random accident or a calculated attack. It was the result of a tragic series of events fueled by human error and a profound misunderstanding of the snakes they worked with daily. In a moment of panic during an experiment, Lucy had inadvertently released a venomous snake while trying to prove a point to Dr. Carter about handling protocols. In a desperate attempt to save face and protect her job, she had staged the scene to look like a murder, hoping to redirect suspicion away from herself. As the pieces fell into place, the community grappled with the aftermath of the revelations. The tragedy underscored the importance of responsibility in scientific work and the delicate balance between human ambition and nature's unpredictability. Lucy was charged, but the haunting image of Dr. Carter's lifeless body would linger in the minds of those who knew him. In the wake of the investigation, the snake farm reopened its doors, albeit under new management. It became a site of education and reflection where the community could come together to honor Dr. Carter's legacy. The importance of ethical practices in research and the need for better understanding of wildlife became central themes in the farm's renewed mission. The murder at the snake farm, while tragic, served as a reminder of the complexities of human relationships and the unforeseen consequences of our actions. The community learned to navigate the fine line between fascination and fear, ultimately uniting in a shared commitment to honor the memory of a man who dedicated his life to understanding the very creatures that both fascinated and terrified them. As time passed, the scars of the tragedy would heal, but the lessons learned would resonate for generations to come, a poignant reminder of the bond between humans and the natural world.